Hello YouTube, this is a 1984 Terminator here, and tonight I'm going to be giving you guys a comic book review. It's going to be over All New X-Men, issue number 6. That's right guys, we're on issue 6 already of All New X-Men. This is a very nice cover. I really like that cover. As you guys can see, there's a new artist, Marquez. As I said in my, I can't remember his first name, but I said in my haul video that he's going to be doing this issue 7 and issue 8, and then Immonen is coming back on issue 9. So guys, let's see if this issue is as good as the previous 5. All New X-Men from Marvel Now. This has been one of my favorite Marvel Now titles. Oh yeah, David Marquez, the artist. So we start off in the Jean Grey School of Higher Learning. And we see Cyclops and Magneto burst in, and then they said, "Thank God I found you, I'm going to take you out of here." And then she said, and then she's like, "Scott?" And then present Scott says, "You know they're going to kill you." And then we see this awesome Then we see this awesome page here, drawn by Marquez, with Wolverine sticking Jean through the throat, and then you know, you think she's dead, but she wakes up because it was a dream. And then Kitty comes in to check on Jean. And then her and Jean are talking about what had just happened to her. And Jean is getting used to, you know, reading people's minds and doing all of that, and then Kitty says, "Well, having a lot of firsts this week. Your telepathic powers came into bloom, and you're living in a different time than you're supposed to be." And then Jean says she found out that she died terribly, and then we see young Scott. Yeah, if you ask me, Marquez's art does not look that bad. Actually, it looks very comparable to Immonen's, but I'm just so used to Immonen's, I guess. But before I go to the next page, Jean was asking Kitty what her name was, and it says Kitty Pryde's like, "Were we like friends or whatever?" Well, she was the head mistress at the school. And then Scott says to himself, "Yesterday I was the leader of the X-Men. Well, at least I thought I was. Now, and he's wondering how he became this thing." And then we see him ride off on the motorcycle. And then obviously Wolverine hears it, and he goes after Scott in a Jeep. Kitty calls, in this page, Jean calls Kitty a baby face, and then Jean starts hearing thoughts again. Kitty stops her though. Kitty puts her finger on Jean and says, "Concentrate," or it's like focus on me. And then she said, "This is your brain. You decide. You control everything about yourself. When you decide you want to take control, you will." And then they talk about Jean needing training and, you know, yoga and whatnot. And and they talk some more about Jean said that how she thought Scott was the leader, and then as you convinced them all to stay in this displaced time, you know, they listen to you. You're the leader now. And Jean was asking Kitty if they were friends, and and then they were, but Kitty said that Jean was a little tough on her. And then Storm introduces herself to young Jean, or to the past Jean, and then Jean asks Storm if they were friends, and then Aurora says yes, you know, they were very good friends. And then Kitty does not like the fact that Scott left and Wolverine went after him. And then we see young Scott going to this place asking for a map and whatnot, and you know, people are on their iPhones or iPods or whatever, and you know, past Scott doesn't know like what to do. And then this shop owner thinks that the young Scott is the present one. I know it seems kind of the one doing the X. And then young Scott says $5 for a magazine. This place is a nightmare. And she calls him Tony Stark. Come to find out that's Wolverine's jacket. And then Cyclops and then young Scott and Wolverine start getting into it. And then Wolverine still believes that this young Scott is going to turn into the present Scott that killed Professor Xavier, when this young Scott said that he will not become this. And then look, I hope this part of the story goes into another issue, like what happened right here. Scott blasts Wolverine with his optic blasts, and then Wolverine gets pissed off and then unsheaths his claws, and then he says to Cyclops, "Where the hell do you think you're going?" I'm sorry, I do a terrible Wolverine, I know. And then here's Angel now. He's got some internal thought going on. And then all of a sudden he meets his future self. And then past Angel explains to the present Angel what's going on, and then and present Angel believes him. And they start talking, and then the present Angel asks the past Angel, "Do you want to go flying?" And he says yes, and then they end up flying off. And then we see these mysterious, I don't know if this is Cyclops and Magneto or what, but they're talking to Mystique. Mystique likes what she sees from Scott, from past Scott, so she wants to see it for herself, and that's the end of the issue. And here's the cover of the next issue. So I'm really excited for it, because I want to see how Mystique's influence is going to work on past Scott, if it's going to work at all. So really nice way to end the issue. Great cliffhanger. Gets me really excited for the next issue. Guys, 5 out of 5 stars. This book does not fail to it doesn't fail at all. I mean, this is another 5 out of 5 stars. It's now 6 for 6 now, with 5 out of 5 stars. And Marquez's art, great artwork if you ask me. Immonen will be missed, but still, I mean, Marquez still does a very good job with this artwork in this book. So, All New X-Men issue number 6 is a 5 out of 5 stars for me. Immonen will be back on by issue 9, but I can't wait to see how Mystique is going to influence young Scott and how it's going to impact the rest of the X-Men. So, yeah, guys, this is 1984 Terminator here. I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and please leave in the comment box below what you guys thought about this review. And this is 1984 Terminator here, guys. Keep reading, keep collecting, keep gaming, and I'll catch you guys later.